A happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, and welcome to St. Louis, where the Rivermen, undefeated at home, are playing home game number 5 today against the ever-dangerous Cincinnati Vultures, coming off their first loss of the season, a surprise upset loss to Tennessee. Alongside Charles Dougherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, and we're back just after the Season 24 championship game yesterday here on BFN. We're now in St. Louis to get the UFL doubleheader of the day started. How you doing, Charles?
Doing great. Looking for some great football. I mean, we're going to see two teams here that know how to put the points up, but the big thing going up for Cincinnati is the St. Louis Rivermen are undefeated at home, so it's going to take a lot for them to get on the win column, but I think this is going to be an exciting game, Cam.
Karen Koizumi is certainly one of the most dynamic players in the UFL, and we are looking forward to seeing her in action today. We've got a lot of great players on the field and two great teams, a pair of one-loss teams doing battle today in the first of our UFL doubleheader on this Mother's Day Sunday. The ball's on the tee, and we are underway from St. Louis in their all-Navy get-ups today with the red lids. The return out to the 27-yard line. And we're ready to see what St. Louis's offense can do today. Annie Beaverhausen in the chat. Mama needs a Yugo. We'll be keeping track of that all day long. As the first play of the game is a run to Junior McCray, and he got just a yard. The St. Louis offense, of course, led by McCray and Koizumi, but Bobby Green was a big newcomer last week, Charles. He was excellent.
I love it. I always love it when the guys that aren't your prototypical size. Bobby Green, 5'11". He's out there. He's playing great. Looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight.
Second down and 9. Bingos happen only on a score or a yardage of touchdown, so we won't have to worry about that too much right now. That pass is caught by Central Howes for 13 yards, and St. Louis has our first move of the sticks of the day.
Yeah, Kozimi saw Howes going across the middle, 6'1", easy target, great route running. We're looking at first down.
Handoff to Junior McCray, cuts it back. And McCray will get back to the line of scrimmage, and let's meet this Cincinnati defense led by the father-son duo of Nathan Brady IV and Robert Brady Jr. at linebacker. Nigel McDade is on the defensive front, and Charles, he's unclaimed, but he has been a big problem for opposing quarterbacks. Robert Brady Jr. had that last tackle, second down.
Go now.
I formation look for the gold-plated Karen Koizumi. 3 up front for Cincinnati. Play fake for Koizumi. Throwing it. Caught. First down. That's Homer J with his first catch. And Koizumi's off to a 2 for 2 for 24-yard start. That's Jay's first catch for 11.
Yeah, nice catch to your starting tight end, but not sure who the play action was for. But, hey, it looked like it worked out on that one.
Yeah, and so far, Junior McCray's been shut down. Cincinnati's done a good job on him. That's only a gain of 3, but just 4 yards on his first 3 carries.
I like the mix that St. Louis is showing, pass and run, and some conservative passes to get some quarterback confidence going here.
St. Louis on a short week. They just defeated Dallas 43-41 in this building in one of the best, if not the best, UFL game of the season. That's Bobby Green. So not only are they mixing it up in the run game, but they've had 3 different receivers with a catch so far on the opening drive.
Yeah, and a great catch there by Green. I'm going to keep bringing up that size, but that size means that he's got some extra speed and gets some separation, and he's a little too wide open. It looked like maybe I'm trying to look at the guy. The linebacker was on coverage there and lost a step or two and wound up paying for it.
Yeah, Nathan Brady IV almost looked like he got tangled with his defender out there, and that's a bad matchup, and Koizumi took advantage of it. That's another run for Junior McCray, but there's nothing doing there, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Junior McCray, I don't know if you want to call him a scat back, but he's on the lower height scale, 5'9", 191, but he hits those gaps quick.
No score, opening drive for St. Louis as Koizumi will fire it underneath. That pass is caught by Bobby Green. His second, 4 for 4 for 51 yards, and St. Louis is in the red zone.
Yeah, just look at that play. He had about a half a step ahead of the defender. He caught that ball, and it went into an extra gear, got some separation.
2 catches for 27 yards on the opening drive. Bobby Green last week had 7 receptions for 132 yards and a touchdown. This pass flung outside to Howes, but Cincinnati drops him for a loss.
Yeah, Cornell Spencer, they tried to fool him on the swing pass, but he was just standing in the flats waiting for that to happen and just shut it down.
We see that's sort of little, it's not really a bubble, but they just kind of throw it out the wide receiver and see what he can do. Some teams can execute that really well, but other teams have really struggled with it. Not much there for St. Louis. 7 minutes to go in the first, a 5-minute opening drive. Handoff to McCray, and he is cut down by Darren Falls up front at defensive end, 3rd and 9.
Yeah, I don't know who. Do you remember who the intended receiver was for that swing pass? I'd love to see Bob. If that wasn't Bobby Green, I'd love to see him in that play.
Yeah, it was Central Howes there on that second catch. He's a little bit bigger than Bobby Green. Green, I think, could probably get off the block a little quickly. There goes Koizumi on the run for the first time today, and just shy of the first down. Picked up 7, 4th and 2. St. Louis is in the range of potentially going for Brady Jr. on the tackle.
Yeah, Brady Jr., the quarterback, Koizumi, tried to do a little shuffle there at the end to maybe get the first down, but Brady was waiting for him. Excuse me.
Well, Brady Jr. with that stop. And we'll see what they do on 4th down and 2 coming up. What would you like to see him do, Charles?
Yeah, early in the game, get some confidence for your offense. I'd go field goal. I think this is a smart decision.
26-yard field goal about halfway through the first quarter. But Cincinnati's defense does well to hold for 3 points. The Rivermen's field goal is good. They didn't have to do much settling in their last game against Dallas, but Bradley, their kicker, was the guy that won the game for him, Gordon Bradley. That field goal is good, so it's 3-0 Rivermen.
And that was a nice drive, mix of run and pass and good execution. Good blocking by the line. You can't forget the big hog mollies up front. They kept Koizumi clean today.
It's a tough name. It's one of the toughest names in the league. Hey, let's get the chat to help us. It's a little bit of a different setup for us as we're both calling the game from VFN Studios. What yardage was that field goal? Can anybody tell us in the chat? We'll get the Yugo numbers up for you. We're gonna have to call them out today because we don't have our lower third graphic for you with the bingo numbers. But we've got the number 3 called, and then someone let us know about the field goal yardage, and we'll get that second number off the board as well. Cincinnati's quarterback is Mac Chima. He is out there for the Vultures offense for the first time today. 5:45 to go in the first. He'll start with a handoff to Al Ingram III, who gets 4 on the play. And let's meet that Cincinnati offense. They are led by Warren Murray, who is a red zone target. 8 touchdowns on 39 catches so far this season. Other offensive stars, T. Roy Gaines, Violet Thomas, Al Ingram III as well. That's my bad for not getting the field goal yardage right away in this. We just got to keep it rolling here in this special matinee. Mac Chima drops the throw. Look at the time for Chima. 2nd and 6 all day long. Finds an open receiver. That's Murray for a first down. That's a 30-yard bomb into St. Louis territory. And Evan Wood saying it was a 26-yard field goal. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah, I think on that play, Murray was started off expecting a deep target. Didn't look like it was going that way. Made an adjustment, seeing that his quarterback needed some help. Came back, helped the quarterback out. And like we said, that's some incredible blocking by that offensive line.
He's 4 catches away from getting a touchdown because 1 out of every 5 passes he catches goes for a score. And Mac Chima's off to a hot start for the Cincinnati pass game. 4:40 to go in the first quarter. Chima again with plenty of time. It's breaking down, just gets rid of it. Pass is caught. First down, that is hauled in by Violet Thomas. So Thomas and Murray, his 2 stars, off to a hot start. That one goes for 20.
Again, consistently great blocking up front. Great route run by Thomas, but some of the other routes on that where you do a hook, if you're not seeing the quarterback looking at you, you got to make some adjustments there. You just don't stand flat-footed.
And we already hit our over-under prediction for viewership today. Thank you, everybody, for being here on a wonderful Mother's Day. We'll get to more about our moms here in just a moment. But T. Roy Gaines over the middle, picks up 6, and Chima's 3 for 3 for 52 yards on the opening drive.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some effective passing by Mac Chima. I mean, he's a confident quarterback. You know, he's a veteran, 15 seasons, knows what he's doing. He's pretty much seen everything.
This is going to be a fast game if these two offenses continue to be this efficient and drain the clock. 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Chima dumps it over the middle. That's Thomas. First down to the 13-yard line, 4 for 4 for 61 yards on the opening drive.
Yeah, just found that hole in the zone. Just took a couple steps past the line of scrimmage, was wide open.
St. Louis's coverage has been really struggling recently. McCray actually got with me earlier this week. I'll tell you what he said in a moment. As Chima's pass is caught, that is the very small, as we meet the St. Louis defense, that's the very small Mac Green on the catch wearing number 12. But Maple Mac leads the defensive front for St. Louis. And then on the back end for the Rivermen, it's Dynamite McCray at free safety.
5'5", Mac.
That's right.
5'5". Holy smokes.
He's a little guy out there, but he's been pretty effective for him.
That's awesome. Keep my eye on that little fella.
Second down and 10 for the Vultures at the 13-yard line. They will fake the handoff, go to the end zone. It's picked off, and the receiver, that was Green, stopped on his route, and Dynamite McCray makes the interception for St. Louis.
Dynamite McCray, I think it was perfect coverage from the start. I mean, there wasn't really any separation, not a lot of options for Chima, and just threw it a little, not the best pass by Chima at all on that drive, but they made him pay for it. That's great that the mark of a good defense is how you perform when you're in your team's in your red zone. And they stood tall, and they're looking good so far.
Let us know how we're sounding out there, everybody, as Karen Koizumi takes over for her second possession. And what a start for both offenses, yet we only have 3 points on the board to show for it. Karen's pass is caught on the near side here. Complete 6 for 6 for 55 yards. Complete to Junior McCray out of the back, or was that Marquise Haggins?
It moved very fast. I might lean towards McCray, but, I think the viewers can help us out there. But nevertheless, it was a very good play. Quick read there by Kazumi.
2nd and 5, and Junior McCray, with his best run of the day, has really struggled to get going. Picks up 4. 3rd down and 1 for St. Louis.
And McCray is kind of built like a wide receiver. Not a tall wide receiver, but a wide receiver nonetheless. He's just got some, he's not really stocky, slim and lean, and able to go through those gaps. Doesn't need a lot of room to make a positive gain. And
didn't need a lot of yards for the first down there. Just barely got it. That was Robert Brady Jr. on the tackle. The previous play, the tackle made by Naisha Ingram, wife of Al Ingram III. But first down, St. Louis.
I think it's a good time for a play action here, Cam. If I could make my Mother's Day wish.
And happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Charles, we don't necessarily know about each other's mothers, but hopefully we can get a little bit more acquainted with those stories throughout the day. 1st and 10 as the handoff goes to Junior McCray, and not much there. Just wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, 2nd down.
That's why you have to listen to me in the booth. Go play action. Good things will happen.
Oh, I thought you had told me a story about your mother, and I hadn't listened, so I was a little nervous there.
That's not sure.
Play action. Koizumi throws it to the far near. Well, I had it right the first time. The near side, but that did not work out. That was the fullback Garrett Westling. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure how familiar Westling is catching out of the backfield. You can look at his body positioning, and it looks like he doesn't get called that play very often.
Empty backfield, 3rd and 10. Koizumi into double coverage, incomplete. Was looking for Bobby Green, so Cincinnati's defense gets off the field. And, the Vultures are averaging 28 points a game. St. Louis was coming off their best offensive performance last week against Dallas. We thought we'd see a bunch of points in this one. So far, it's just 3-0.
I did, and if Nick Lawson keeps covering, wide receivers as well as he did on that play, we're not going to see a ton of points tonight.
Good on St. Louis for voting for the all-Navy get-ups with their red lids and white numbers. Cincinnati's in their darker red. Some would call it maroon. Some would call it burgundy. But the red helmets and the red pants with the white numbers. As Thomas returns that up to the 16-yard line with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. There's Chima's numbers from his opening drive.
Yeah, not bad at all. You know, the interception he wants to erase, but, you know, like I said, he's been here 15 seasons. I don't even think that's in his rearview mirror.
First down for Cincinnati. Chima will start it with a little draw to Al Ingram III, and both running games have struggled here in the opening quarter. Hopkins with his first tackle, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, good play by the middle linebacker. Just went through the gap there, wasn't touched at all, and was ready to blow that play up.
End of one here in St. Louis. Hope you're having fun with all of us here today. Only number 26 and number 3 have been called for Hugo, but the games will extend out into our second game of our doubleheader. Oh, no, you're good over there.
Do I need to use my bingo voice? 26, 3.
End of the first quarter. Charles is learning all about the bingo today from VFN headquarters, and we're having a good time here on a wonderful Sunday. Cincinnati nothing, St. Louis 3. You're watching UFL Week 8 action right here on VFN. 74 total yards for St. Louis in the first quarter, 64 for Cincinnati. Alongside Charles Doherty, I am Cameron Irvine. The handoff goes to Al Ingram III, trying to get around the end. Ingram just 7 yards on his first 3 carries. It'll bring up third down and 7.
And that was a long distance to cover, and you know, Devontae Berry is a pretty fast free safety out there, and just wasn't given any opportunity to turn upfield.
Scarlet Bridge City Bird, another name maybe for the Cincinnati Red. I like that. As Mac Chima throws up the middle and almost threw an interception. That was Green again, who looked like either he ran the wrong route or didn't run it properly, and now it's fourth down.
Yeah, that hit looked like the dime back there in Sonder. You hit him right in the no, excuse me.
Right in the hand.
Clements. Yeah, it was Clements. Sorry, the nickel back. And, I mean, that's the type of play. In this game, we've got 2 evenly matched teams. You have to capitalize.
And that's a little surprising because Clements has been one of their best players. He's actually made a ton of plays in his 9th UFL season, but was unable to get his hands on that one. That would have been the second interception for Mac Chima so far in this first half. Chima with just 8 interceptions all season to 16 touchdowns. A lot of quarterbacks with some real solid touchdown-interception ratios so far this season.
Yeah, great quarterback play. And a lot of what I'm not used to in my sim league experience is great quarterback running as well. I mean, there's a couple quarterbacks out there that tuck and run when things start breaking down and get and show some dangerous moves.
Koizumi certainly will do that. Koizumi averaging or has 371 rushing yards on the season through her first 6 games. That is Bobby Green with his 3rd catch of the day. Koizumi is 7 of 9.
A nice route again, just turned around. It was like they practiced this 1,000 times. They knew each other. You know, there was nice timing by the quarterback. Hit him right when he turned around.
Just 26 combined rushing yards between the 2 teams.
Oh,
Pass McCray is lit up. And again, that is Nathan Brady, the 4th. The combination of Brady and Brady at linebacker has been excellent against this run game.
Yeah, nice discipline as well. Didn't fall for that juke move. Just stayed, plays, discipline, and shut down.
3rd and 1, play fake. Koizumi throws it, got a block, and I believe the last turn, yes, got it. First down. A beautiful catch. That's the tight end, too, Shane Sorowski.
I mean, that was a good catch. A good pass as well. Turned upfield right at the right time. Just held onto that ball and muscled in through the first down.
Not the best block for the fullback there, but it got the job done.
Yeah.
Clever little play there from St. Louis. Anyway, Ernest was asking me about the defense. He said, look, our coverages have been pretty bad. You know, can we adjust something? I said, you won, brother. Like, no, you just gotta take the W. But we've seen Mac Chima, kind of slice and dice that secondary a little bit so far today. But right now, St. Louis playing keep away.
Yeah, and nice tackle by the middle linebacker Ford on that play. Again, showing a lot of discipline, the Cincinnati Vulture defense.
2nd down and 9. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Koizumi just got it away, and Homer J has a first down. Great throw under duress. Karen's now 9 of 11.
Brady the 4th was on a beeline to the quarterback, and Koizumi got rid of it just in time.
First down, the clock continues to move. St. Louis up 3-0 on Cincinnati, a battle of 2 of the best teams in the UFL and certainly out in the Great East Conference. That's Homer J again. with another reception, and St. Louis really utilizing a lot of crossing patterns so far today.
Yeah, and it's confusing the coverage for the defensive back, and I love what the tight end does after he catches the ball. He secures it as tight as he possibly can, just lowers his helmet for contact.
Homer J and Bobby Green both with 3 catches so far in the quarter, as it looks like the fullback goes in motion on 2nd down and 1. They just got the play off. Koizumi to the near side. That is caught. That is the fullback, again, who's been pretty involved so far, Garrett Westling, for a first down.
Yeah, I love it when they get the fullbacks involved, and that was a great play. I think they learned maybe have that fullback go a couple yards deeper on the route to give time to turn around, and quarterback hit him right in the hands.
Koizumi out of the shotgun. Finds again. Oh! Crosser was overthrown and picked off. Naisha Ingram with the interception on Mother's Day on an errant pass. Cincinnati's got the football back.
I hate to say that. I think you can put that on the shoulders of the quarterback. That was not even close to an accurate pass. Quarterback had separation, was going into coverage, but into coverage, in about 5 yards. So it was not the best pass of Koizumi today.
It was almost like Karen thought about throwing it inside, then saw the receiver outside and threw it right in between them. Because she didn't put that pass on the money to anybody. So both quarterbacks with an interception in the first quarter. That stalls the drive, and Cincinnati takes over. Hand off, Al Ingram the third around the left side. He's got space, 50, 40. Al Ingram the third all the way down to the 38-yard line, and now averaging 8 yards a carry. By far his best run of the day.
Yeah, and a good seal on the edge by the offensive line. But that play after Ingram touched it was just speed, and you could tell he was looking for some contact at the end there. And he's a big running back, and he's ready to get hit and lay the wood.
Cincinnati coming off a loss. They boosted their 3 weakest offensive linemen and the weakest members of their starting secondary, a couple of corners and a free safety, as Chima has time to throw, and the pass is caught by Warren Murray down to the 8-yard line. He was sniffing the end zone, but just held off at the end by Chris Reed.
And Murray did not have a lot of space on that. An accurate pass, such an accurate pass by Chima on that one. The offensive line as well. Got to, every time I see that great blocking, got to give him credit. But man, great ball placement by Chima.
And Dynamite McCray, who had the interception earlier in this half, was in coverage. We get a look at the pylon cam here as they wrestled Murray out of bounds.
I love that camera angle. That's so awesome.
And we were able to change the pylon to green, and CJ.
I can see nose hairs on that view. All right, I'm just saying.
That is unpleasant.
I think Murray needs to, invest in some whatever.
First and goal at the 8-yard line. Hand off to Ingram. He's dropped in the backfield. Taken down almost immediately, now down to 30 yards. That was Hopkins with his second tackle, and both of them have been in the backfield.
Yeah, and the middle linebacker read it perfectly. Good closing speed as well. I mean, showing that burst right there through the gap, able to close down. I don't think the running back even saw him coming.
All right, now it is 2nd and goal at the 11-yard line. 5:45 to go in the first half. 3-0, and Al Ingram will swing it out to Warren Murray inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line. He almost had his ninth.
Touched the ground.
Almost had his 9th touchdown of the season. 3rd and goal.
It kind of looks like he rolled over his back into the end zone.
Let's get another look at it. We might get a down line.
Maybe his elbow was down. I don't know. Let's see. No, his elbow.
We'll get something down the line.
See some more. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. That's unbelievable. Sorry.
Right
there.
there.
Right there,
yeah. Right about the 1-yard line. Good spot by the refs. So Murray twice with a catch inside the 10, trying to get in the end zone again, but is 1 yard shy. 3rd down and goal. Can St. Louis get a goal line stand? Play fake to Ingram.
Top of the screen.
Chima fires a little too late. Dynamite McCray knocked it away.
Did you see the fullback Keller was wide open at the top of the screen?
Mack missed him, and now at decision time on 4th and goal at the 1, down 3.
You know what? I'd flip it and go do the same thing on the opposite side.
He's
And
lucky.
that's why I'm in the booth, folks.
He's lucky McCray, and they are going for it. He's lucky McCray didn't get a hand on that shotgun. 3 receivers, one-on-one top of the screen. 4th and goal. They're just going to hand it off on the spot. They got the touchdown. That is Leonard Crawford, the touchdown vulture, literally taking it away from Ingram III. They wind him up and watch him go on a 4th and goal conversion.
If you're an offensive lineman for the Vultures, you've got to be pumped up because that play right there shows you that the coaching staff has 125% confidence in your ability to block in this goal line situation. Gutsy call, great execution, great score.
BK Solberg was hoping for a 17-yard field goal, but that's not what he got. Instead, he got a 1-yard touchdown. And we'll see what happens here on the extra point as the kick is good. So that would be a 7 for Cincinnati.
7.
6 plays, 63-yard drive, 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. 7-3, Vultures on top of St. Louis, and your numbers called right now are 1, 3, 7, and 26. Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I call the numbers next?
Yes, I will let you call the numbers.
That's the worst thing you can do for a bingo person.
Step on their toes.
Take away that fun and joy. Wow.
I am a
control freak? No, I wouldn't say that.
That's hilarious. Calling me out of my own studio. We hope you're having fun out there. Please let us know. Make sure we're sounding okay. Again, this is a little bit of a unique setup for us, but we're having a good time here, and hopefully you can everything is coming through beautifully on your end. St. Louis will take the kneel down. This has been a great first half.
It definitely has been entertaining. A lot of great plays from both teams.
Karen Koizumi, 11 of 14 for 87 yards. Pretty active day for the Arm. Has only taken off 1 time. Been a little quiet in the ground game. 131-108. Cincinnati leads in total yards. Koizumi will drop the throw for the 15th time today. That's Bobby Green. Past the 40 down to the 43-yard line. An 18-yard pickup.
Bobby Green's active tonight, and you can tell why. I mean, great route running, but when he makes that first cut, he gets great separation from the defender.
Bobby Green, 4 catches, 53 yards in the first half.
Wow, it looked like Spencer was in chase mode right after the snap.
Wow, surprised. That could have been maybe a little unnecessary roughness way into the Cincinnati bench there too. No play call or no penalty call there. St. Louis is calling an audible. They're down to 6 on the play clock, trying to get everybody set. They do. Koizumi again will throw a crosser. That's a first down to the Cincinnati 40-yard line, hauled in by Central Howes. 13 of 16 now, and I think 4 different receivers have at least 3 catches.
Yeah, they're spreading it around, and they're also, giving a real good mix of routes for the defense to try and cover. And that one, it looked like they did a small flood at the bottom of the screen, and 87 Howes was wide open.
Got rid of 1 defender and got a handful more yards. Was eventually wrapped up by Pearson Pierce. Yes, that's what I said. Pearson Pierce. 4:06 to go in the first half. Koizumi, another throw, and he lost the ball. It's picked around and picked up by Cincinnati. That could be close, but Brady Jr. with the fumble recovery.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That looked like a great pass by Koizumi. And maybe he might have hit the ground.
Yeah, I think he's down. But, man, right in between the 2 linebackers in coverage.
Yeah, elbows down on that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to get reviewed. So St. Louis's drive is going to continue, but not until we get a few more looks at that, unless they're not going to call it. Nakshima's trying to get everybody out there quickly, but there will be a booth review here with 4 minutes to go in the first half.
What are they going to call, Cam?
Ooh, it looked like it started to.
Shoulder?
Well, that angle is a little more clear. I think it's that left elbow.
Yeah. Looked like his shoulder hit 2 right before the ball popped out.
And the call is reversed. So St. Louis will get the football back, 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. A near disaster there for St. Louis. It would have been back-to-back drives with a turnover. Handoff to Junior McCray. Will pick up 3, but still struggling to find any space. 17 yards on 11 carries.
That's a smart play, though, after that type of ball. You want to settle down, just get a run up the middle, get your wits about you, and now you can do something a little more daring.
159 total yards in the first half for St. Louis. 24 of those have been on the ground, 135 through the air. They'll stick to the ground. Junior sticks his foot in the turf and gets out to about the 12-yard line.
Nice cut up field as well, too. That was smart. Good blocking. Yeah, overall great execution by that offense.
Watch Junior stick the foot right there.
Yep. that added like 3 to 5 yards to that run.
And again, Brady Jr. with a tackle. Both Bradys have been everywhere. This is the 31st offensive play of the first half for St. Louis. They have definitely won time of possession. Quick bubble screen out to Bobby Green, and the receiver whiffed on the block. So it goes for a loss of 1.
Yeah, they did what I wanted to see, but the blocking, like you said, was not executed the way it needed to be. Poor Bobby Green was left on an island.
Just missed them both. And for any players out there talking about improving your team, you know, sometimes pass block for receivers can help in situations like that. And St. Louis definitely going to be working on that in practice.
Some wide receivers are divas. That's the rumor.
They don't want to block.
They don't like, getting too messy.
Second down, 11. Likely the final play before the 2-minute warning. Into the red zone, down 7-3. Koizumi going to take off and run inside the 10, down to the 5, and we've hit the 2-minute warning just shy of the first down. St. Louis knocking on the door. What a great first half between the 5-1 Rivermen and the 6-1 Vultures here on BFN.
Good setup by Koizumi for that run, putting him in a nice spot with 2 minutes left.
Spreading him out on 3rd and 1. Koizumi gonna toss it, and effort by Junior McCray to get the first down.
Well, again, he looks like a wide receiver out there. I mean, great body positioning, got right in front of the defender, able to bring that ball in and just lurch forward for extra yardage.
That is trusting one of your best playmakers who really has kind of struggled in the first half to just make a play on the ball.
Yeah, great effort, too, after the catch.
Man, that was excellent. So first down and goal at the 3-yard line for St. Louis, trying to take the lead. Koizumi, 3-step drop, wide open, touchdown, Homer J. The big tight end with the score, and that is Homer J's, I believe, 4th touchdown of the season. He had 426 yards coming in.
It looked to me that was missed coverage on that one. Just got away. It looked like one of the defenders went for the INT, jumped up in the air instead of covering the tight end.
They put Harris in no man's land. That's a hello.
How you doing, fella?
Hey, Homer. That was great. I don't think I've seen that all season long. That was excellent. Extra point is good. So 10 is off the is a called number on the Yugo card, and 10. I believe. Help us out with the chat before we call all the numbers again. Was that a 4-yard score? Were they on the 4-yard line when they threw that touchdown?
I vote for.
We'll get the chat's opinion here coming up. You are voting for 4?
I vote for 4.
Anybody have any disagreements about that?
I don't have a dog in this hunt, though, for the people listening at home.
1:37 to go in the first half. St. Louis responds 3 yards. Okay, the chat has told us 3. Well, that's already been called. But thank you to the chat for being honest. Okay, what are our called numbers now, Charles?
The numbers called are 1, 3, 7, 10, and 26.
Brilliant. What would we do without you? 1:37 to go in the first half. It gives Cincinnati plenty of time to respond. They have all 3 timeouts still as that return gets up to the 26-yard line.
Well, you got Mac Chima there, the veteran. He's been in this situation before. 1 minute, 32 seconds. You're only down by 3. One thing you don't want to do is make a mistake, because St. Louis, they've got a lot of momentum on their side. You don't want to give them the ball. There's plenty of time, for them to score again, and that would just be a nightmare for Cincinnati.
1st and 10, 1:32 to go in the first half. 10-7 St. Louis. Mac Chima has had a decent first half, but that interception hurt. They're going to try to set up a screen to Ingram. He's got some blockers out in front, cannot break the initial tackle, and that's actually a really good play made by the linebacker Emmanuel Edwards.
But also that's a difficult pass to make by Matt Chima as well with that duress. He's got a lot of bulls coming at him trying to hurt him.
No huddle, 2nd and 3 for Chima. All kinds of time. Pocket breaks down slightly. It's caught by T-Roy Gaines, who's been a little quiet. And again, we go no huddle, 10-second runoff, no spikes in the UFL.
That was a tough pass as well. I think the coverage was tight in that zone, and only had a split second to get rid of that ball and put it where it needed to be.
Gains 2 catches for 21 yards. And I see T-Roy in the chat too, probably because of the time difference and when the game is. So hope you guys are enjoying the matinee time of games. And Bila Thomas actually was stripped by Dynamite McCray. That was a fumble, but the ball rolled out of bounds.
That was a nice for Cincinnati. You get it's a mistake, but you get a stoppage of time.
Let's look at it here. I think he would have been ruled in bounds because the tackle started in the field of play, but the forced fumble actually put him out of bounds.
What do you think they're going to look at? A booth review? No.
2nd and 6, 43 seconds. Cincinnati trying to get in scoring range, and Chima with an absolute laser down to the 36-yard line.
Wow, Murray's going to have to put his hands in ice after that catch. That was flaming out of his hands.
Cincinnati holding on to those 3 timeouts. They trail by 3, 25 seconds left. 21st offensive play of the drive, or of the first half for Chima. And off the play fake, it is incomplete, almost caught. What a diving effort.
I didn't get the number of who did that, but man, that was great coverage, great athleticism on that dive.
I believe J.J. Flowers, the outside linebacker for St. Louis, made that play. Now 18 seconds for Cincinnati. They'll use their timeouts pretty much any time they are in the field of play like this one. That pass is caught by Ingram the third and getting all the way down to the 32-yard line. 12 seconds left. Cincinnati has 2 timeouts. They can run anything here.
Definitely. And I would try and maybe push it towards the side of the field. You don't want to get it in the middle. Not a lot of time left. I think they're in decent position. But the Hawks are circling into the field. I think that would be dangerous.
It'd be a 49-yard field goal from here for Brian Bleeker. 3rd down and 6 for the 6-1 Cincinnati Vultures on the road here today in St. Louis. This is Chima against a blitz. Swung it out to Al Ingram III. And
didn't get out of bounds.
Did not get out of bounds. Cincy will call a timeout. 5 seconds left. They'll probably take the points here.
Yeah, that's a smart move. And it's not a bad drive either. But what they start?
About their own 22-yard line, right?
Not a bad 2-minute drill.
About a 55-yard drive in a minute and a half. Cincinnati held on to 1 timeout. It is 4th down anyway. And that was a pretty good play by St. Louis, too. They brought some pressure. They forced the ball out of Mac Chima's hands quickly, and that 44-yard field goal is good for Cincinnati from 44 yards away, so that's your next called number. And we're tied at 10 in the final seconds of the first half.
Yeah, this is a great half. Like I said, 2 evenly matched teams just slugging it out. Let's see what happens in this. If one of these teams can kind of pull away and start dominating it. But so far, I haven't really seen a lot of domination on either side.
Jesse Fritz asked earlier in the chat, what is the second game of our doubleheader? And that one's going to be interesting because it's the winless Florida Sharks back in the spotlight. They're in Dallas to take on the Talons, one of the best teams in the league. But Florida's lost their last 3 games by 7 points or less. They have been right on the doorstep and played great last week against New Orleans.
So they're playing in Dallas.
Yep.
And so I had to come all the way to Louisiana.
That's right.
For a game an hour away from where I live. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yes.
Nice. Do I get to claim mileage?
You'll have to talk with HR. They might not answer. It might go straight to voicemail. 1st and 10, 1 second left for St. Louis. And Koizumi will dump that off to stat pad just a little bit. That doesn't do anything, but Koizumi 17 of 20 in the first half passing. Haggins with his first catch, and we are all tied at 10 heading into the break. What a first half. Your thoughts, Charles?
Like I said, evenly matched. I mean, let's look at the stats. It looks like they're pretty close across the board. The only separation looks like the average yardage per play by maybe a couple yards. But, man, we've seen decent quarterback play on both sides. Some mistakes, but for the most part, offensive line doing their job. Linebackers out there coveraging, laying down some big hits. I mean, this is a great game. Great game to start off the doubleheader.
Charles will give you the update on the Yugo numbers when we come back, but we're going to take a quick pause for league rights right here on the virtual Football Network. We'll be right back.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
All right, we are ready to start the second half. 10-10, Cincinnati and St. Louis. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, calling our first UFL game. It's history for us, Charles. What are our first half UGO numbers?
Your UGO numbers for today are 1, 3, 7, 10, 26, and 44.
There you go, folks. Hope you're updated. We don't. I do apologize. We don't have our little graphic at the bottom of the screen today because we have a little bit of a different setup here, calling games right here from VFN. But Ingram takes another handoff, and Hopkins, for the third time in this game, drops him in the backfield.
That's a couple times today we've seen Hopkins go through that offensive line not being touched at all. Yeah, maybe he was touched a little. He said hello. How you doing?
Just a little. Hopkins has had a great game. And really, St. Louis's linebackers, we've been calling them out a lot. It's not the strength of their team, but they're playing well.
Yeah, definitely closing the gap quickly.
Second down and 11. This is Mac Chima firing to Warren Murray, who was not looking for the football. And there he is again. Dynamite McCray, who's been all over the field today, forces a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I'm all over there. I did not see Dynamite McCray at all. Just made a quick adjustment to end there. Almost had the interception. We might have been looking at 6.
Chima will throw on 3rd and 11. Drops that one off on a check down to Ingram. Didn't like what he saw down the field. And Cincinnati will live to fight another day. They'll punt the football.
Yeah, good coverage downfield by St. Louis. Had to make a snap decision, and at that point, you just dump it off and see if you can get some good yard after catch. But on that one, the defense for St. Louis just waiting.
He saw 2 guys out there on Warren Murray. He saw 2 guys on the other side out there on T-Roy Gaines, and said, you know what, I don't think this is going much anywhere. Let's just dump it to Al and see what he can do with it. The 4th catch for Al Ingram today. Edwards on that last tackle. Again, another play made by this linebacking core for St. Louis. This punt is deep, and I mean deep, and it bounces out of bounds, but in through the end zone, out at the 20. Davis with the punt, and he almost pinned him inside the 5.
That was incredible power on that kick.
Just missed the coffin corner, so Koizumi back out there. The 6-1 Cincinnati Vultures, the 5-1 St. Louis Rivermen, 2 of the top teams in the Great East Conference, and Karen is sacked in the backfield, and that is McDade, who leads this defensive line, a very underrated defensive line in sacks this season.
And just what a nightmare for a quarterback on that rollout. You turn to the other side, and you see the defensive lineman staring you right in the face. You know it's not going to end well.
And you could see the wide eyes of Karen there like, oh, my gosh.
Rutrow.
Rutrow is right. That's the 8th sack of the season for McDade. And Hopkins over there talking with his defense saying, I can't believe that just happened to our offense. Cincinnati has 8 more total yards than St. Louis in a game. The kid couldn't get any closer. Handoff to Junior McCray. Cut it left, but not much running room there. 3rd and 18.
Yeah, good defense by Cincinnati, and they're looking at 3rd and a mile.
Florida taking on Dallas next, and a special today here on this UFL doubleheader. Your bingo cards will continue to transfer over to the second game, so don't reset them as things continue. Oh my gosh! Homer Shea lost the ball. It went right into the hands of Robert Brady Jr. for a touchdown.
Oh my gosh! Like threw it up in the air. I got to see that on replay. What a heads-up play by Brady Jr. Holy smokes.
Homer J, as he's getting thrown down. The elbow popped it out. Wow, what a crazy bounce.
Wow.
That's coming back.
Yeah.
Here's another look. Wow, I mean, that popped right up to Robert Brady. That was crazy.
That was whoever threw that tight end down is strong. I mean, it looked like 1.5 hands able to flip him around.
Let's get it. That was Naisha Ingram.
Holy smokes!
204 pounds throwing down a 245er like that.
Must know martial arts.
Wow, that was a crazy sequence of events, but for the second time in this game, it looks like a St. Louis fumble is going to be overturned. And did you see Homer J talking with Bobby Green just then? The other guy that fumbled the football.
I know how you feel.
That's right. St. Louis is going to have to punt, but that's much better than giving up a defensive touchdown. The kick all the way to the 23-yard line, but a lot of room to return for Violet Thomas to the 40.
Almost got the edge there. Good closing speed by the Rivermen special teams.
Wow, what else are we going to see here today as Mac Chima and the Cincinnati offense comes back out there?
Hold on tight, team. Hold on tight. I think it's going to start getting crazy here.
183 to 180 right now in total yards. Mac Chima back to throw. Clean pocket again. And a check down is actually dropped by Al Ingram coming back to the football. Maple Mack on the defensive line for St. Louis and the rest of his company has not found any kind of pressure on Chima today.
And good coverage downfield by the Rivermen.
Al Ingram in the I got to get to that in here in a minute. Second down and 10. 9:01 to go in the third quarter.
Oh!
And Al is dropped in the backfield. I gotta get to Al's comment. Al Ingram in the chat said, "This is why I'm scared of my wife, the way she just threw him around."
And the name of that truck was Jarrett Childs, I believe. Holy smokes.
Wow, he beat a double team. What a great play.
His last name should be Mans.
He's graduated.
You are now Mans.
Third down and 13 for Cincinnati. Chima to throw, fires just past the sticks, caught by Thomas.
What a great route there.
to the St. Louis 41-yard line.
Back in zone coverage and just turned in field right at the right moment and past the chains. Great heads-up play by Max seeing that open wide receiver. And again, it was only a split second.
Dynamite McCray with another tackle for the St. Louis defense.
Wow. That's a big play. That's a big-time play right there. Keep your offense on the field.
The pass game needed a little momentum, too. Chima was all the way down to 13 of 20 passing before that completion. Handoff, Al Ingram the third. Just nothing there again. 24 yards on 8 carries. And the name of that truck was J.J. Flowers.
I was looking at the tight end that came in to help block, but it didn't help at all. You know, they had that exotic look. They had it looked like they had 4 tight ends out there. One of them ran in to help with the lead block and wasn't effective at all against the defense.
Another TFL in the backfield for St. Louis. They've been living in the backfield here in this first half. 9 runs, 21 passes for Cincinnati. This is their 31st offensive play of the game. Chima against a blitz. It's picked up. And the pass outside is caught by Gaines. He could not get up in time after the turf monster got him.
Well, and the ball placement there wasn't, in a place where Gaines could grab it and make a good move upfield. He just had to hold on to it for all dear life.
Another third down and long for Cincinnati. 6:50 to go in the third quarter. Mac Chima dropping to throw again past the sticks, and this one is popped out. A double team defensive play by intended for Dante Lewis is ripped away, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, and I think Palmer had a big role in that. Let's see here. Looked like a nice little script, maybe.
Watch Moses Hopkins, 53, popped it out with his left arm, it looked like.
Good defense.
That was Palmer in to hit him first, as you said, Charles. 4th down and 11 for Cincinnati. They'll have to punt the football away again. Maybe this time they can pin him inside the 10. All you got to do is touch it down. It's just going to bounce, and it is down at the 3-yard line. 1st down, St. Louis deep in their own territory.
I love it. I love seeing great special teams plays like that, where they stop the ball just short of the goal line. That was a great kick, but it takes a lot of work on your special teams to be able to execute that sharply.
That was, I believe, Austin Trimble down there to make the play on special teams for Cincinnati. 1st and 10 at the 3 now. Worst starting field position for either offense today. 6:36 to go in the quarter. Junior McCray takes the handoff, and besides that one run for both of these running backs. It has been real tough sledding.
Yeah, and they had extra blockers in there, but it didn't do anything against that Cincinnati defense.
2nd down and 9. This has been a very defensive third quarter. Just been back and forth with punts most of the half. Inside the 5, McCray is going to be swarmed and still inside the 5. That's important, Charles, because there's a specific part of play calling that is inside the 5-yard line, so expect St. Louis to keep it conservative.
Yeah, I was just showing the speed of that Vultures defense. It's scary.
3rd down and 9, just looking to give their punter a little bit more room. 3rd consecutive handoff to McCray, and he can't get anywhere, averaging just 2 yards a carry in this ball game. Tackled by Eldrin Ford.
Yeah, the Cincinnati's really showing their force out there on the field, and it's going to be this is going to be a tight play here for St. Louis. I'm curious to see what they try and execute.
Junior McCray, I mean, he's had a great season. 9 rushing touchdowns. Things are going well for the St. Louis run game, not just with McCray, but also with Koizumi, but not in this game as Thomas shakes one and gets out to the 42, and we've only seen Karen take off twice.
That was a
Well, you said it wasn't going to be a punt?
No. I lost track of it now. I'm surprised you didn't call me out on that one.
You're right. I don't know.
Just kept quiet. It snuck off.
1st and 10 at the 42. You would have gotten away with it, too.
No, I've been called out in chat.
And your little dog, too. Hand off to Al Ingram, and Maple Mack makes an appearance. Again, nothing. We are at a stalemate here in St. Louis.
Something's got to give, Cam. Let's see if it's something this series.
Total yards, still neither team over 200. 4:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10. A little fullback handoff, and that picks up 3 yards.
Love it.
Michael Keller
up the middle. Doesn't get a lot of touches, but man, 3 yards not bad for your big fullback.
Under 4 to go. Chima on a 3rd and 6. A little stack look out to the top of the screen. Mack, number 99, right in the middle there on the S. Chima, all kinds of time in the pocket, and finds Thomas. 1st down.
Yeah, that route threw off their zone coverage, and Thomas was able to find a gap in the zone. And again, another good reaction by Chima.
It really feels like, Charles, the difference in this game by the end of it could be the fact that the offensive line for Cincinnati has given Chima so much great protection. At some point, you feel like Chima's going to be able to hit something deep.
Haven't seen a lot of heavy blitzes though by St. Louis. I mean, that might be some type of adjustment they want to make. See if they can send a couple extra linebackers, maybe a sneak of safety in there.
1st down and 10. Hand off to Ingram the 3rd, and again, Dynamite McCray is there for the stop, a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, all over the field so far, and it's you need that type of play in this type of game.
2nd down and 7. Chuma back in the gun, hands it off to Ingram. Ingram is stuffed, but he did pick up a solid 4. 3rd and a long 3 coming up.
See what they're going to do here. I mean, I think it's a perfect opportunity to dial it up on defense a little bit.
Chima under center. Tight look. Chima going to throw and fires down the middle on a little stop right. Look at the ball again. Picked up by St. Louis. Dynamite McCray makes 3 people miss. Dynamite is good. 2010. Boom goes the Dynamite, and it might come back because we might have another.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding me?
The only thing missing was a Heisman pose at the end of that run.
Let's see. Was he down?
Oh, it was tipped.
I think he might be down, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, if he was down.
Look at McCray. He made 3 people miss.
You should get him returning kicks.
No kidding. I think that might be an adjustment for St. Louis.
Smokes.
As if they're not already one of the best teams in the league. Here's another look at it. It was Murray.
I mean, he was down, and, he was actually about ready to stand up.
It didn't stop Dynamite McCray from getting on the highlight reel.
Yeah, now he's all tired.
And here we go again. This is unbelievable. We might have our 3rd overturned fumble of this game, which is definitely a UFL record. And, yeah, I think that's the easiest one of the day.
Yeah, he is so down. Knee, elbow, chin.
Cheek.
Earlobe.
What a wild game. And it's overturned, so Cincinnati is in the red zone down to the St. Louis 18-yard line. The roller coaster of emotions continues here on the UFL to start Week 8. On a little counter fake, Mac Chima fooled everybody into the end zone, and both receivers are standing out of bounds.
Did it look like he bobbled the ball at the snap? I don't know. They're not going to show a replay, but it looked like he bobbled the ball. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before. Quarterback bobbles the ball, then does a play action.
He's lucky they didn't say he fumbled. Second down and 10. Handoff to Al Ingram the third, and nothing there. Almost a face mask, but no call. 3rd and 8 coming
That
up.
was Palmer coming in on that one as well, with a little bit of help from Hopkins, I think.
3rd and 8, 41st play of offense for Cincinnati today. 14 runs, 26 passes so far. Shima needs the 9, going to the end zone and overthrew it. So now it's 4th down. It'll be a 33-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, good stand. I mean, they're going to probably, I'm not going to say where, I won't jinx anything, but you're not seeing a lot of blitzing at all by the Rivermen. It's kind of eye-opening for me. They're going back. I mean, I guess they get the confidence in their defensive backs, but sending 4 and the offensive line, like we said all night, is holding their own.
Gaines was open, but it was a little bit overthrown, or a lot of it overthrown by Chima. 33-yard field goals drifting left, but it is good. So it's 13-10, 33 and 13 are off the board. And for all the people out there, Charles, give them the updated Yugo numbers, and make sure to boost your volume too.
Okay.
We want to make sure they can hear.
Today's numbers are 1, 3, 7, 10, 13, 26, 33, and 44.
I think I need to make reservations for our anniversary weekend after listening to that. Man, you do voiceover work?
No.
You should.
Really?
You ever thought about it?
Can't read you, man. The smirk.
What?
The smirk that's throwing me off.
What do you think, chat? Do you think Charles would be a
The
good
smirk and the
voiceover?
the finger pointing up in the air.
None of that is true, and you can't prove it. You cannot prove it. So, 51 seconds to go in the third quarter. St. Louis gets the ball back. If this game continues down this path, we could have a finish of the ages right here going on.
Amazing, so evenly matched. It's incredible.
I mean, some games you get kind of a feeling for how things are going to end up, and I have no clue how this one is going to end up playing out. 51 seconds to go in the third. Koizumi throws it a little bit low, but it's hauled in. Forward progress will give him 9 yards on the play. That was House.
That was good
Bobby
adjustment
Green.
by
Bobby Green.
By Bobby Green. A good adjustment by Bobby Green. Looks like he got thrown off a little bit, maybe bumped, but was able to make that adjustment and turn around right in time for the pass.
33, Tony, was that field goal yardage as Koizumi finds Homer J to the 44-yard line, a pickup of 10. Still 20 of 23 passing are the Rivermen, but they trail by 3.
Yeah, and they're doing some very solid route running, that the wide receiver team. And the offensive line, I mean, you got to give some credit to the offensive line of the Rivermen. I mean, we've been bragging about the Vultures offensive line all night, but they're doing a pretty good job as well.
The scoreboard is incorrect. It's counting all of those defensive touchdowns. That the score by quarter was counting it.
I thought it was booth reviews.
Well, they were counting the defensive touchdowns that didn't actually end up counting. Koizumi taking off and running all day to go. Look at that. Makes a man miss all the way to the 21-yard line. That was a run of 35.
That was amazing. That was amazing. When you don't see anything open, Koizumi is has the feet and the speed to be able to get some yardage, and on that one, untouched for 30 yards, 40 yards.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, Charles, and say, wow, put the corner Pierce on his behind. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say they didn't have a spy on that play.
No.
First down and 10. What a run from Koizumi. Karen to throw. Nope, going to take off and run again past the 20. Oh, picked up and thrown down to the 14. That's Robert Brady Jr. And just like you said, especially in this game, please hold on to the football.
Hold on for dear life.
Man, oh man.
We don't want another booth review.
2nd and 3, 10:45 to go in the ball game. Handoff. Nice Junior run. McCray following the blockers has a first down.
Nice run. It was tempting for him to bounce outside, but he knew. Just trust his blocking, hold on to the back of the guard, and he'll lead you to the promised land.
Brady Jr. with his 4th tackle. Both teams not giving up on the run. They're sticking. They're trying to get it established. St. Louis more than Cincinnati is part of their identity. Koizumi to the end zone, caught by Green down to the 2-yard line. 2nd and 2 coming up. They can get a first down at about the half-yard line.
Another play where we've seen, Green is a master at positioning his body to catch the ball, and we've seen it several times tonight, and that was probably one of his better catches.
2 in the backfield, including Junior, but Koizumi's going to throw and overshot the intended target. So now, on just her 4th incompletion, it's 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I didn't see any receiver open in the end zone, so that was a missed, actual disastrous potentially play right there. Whatever the heck that means.
Can Junior McCray get another touchdown? And he did not! But did he get the first? He did not! 4th and inches from the 1.
For it.
Cincinnati went for it earlier in the game.
You got to go for it.
Cincinnati scored their only touchdown of the day on a 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. Cameron Bumpers came in to clean that play up. Are we going to get an overhead shot? I'm not sure. No, we're not going to. 4th and inches at the 1. Wow, they're going to kick.
Wow.
They're going to kick because the field goal ties the game. This is a 17-yard field goal, and that kick is good, and we are tied. So 17 is a new number on the board. We're tied at 13. Charles, their updated Yugo numbers, please.
Okay, updated numbers are 1, 3, 7, 10, 13, 17, 26, 33, and 44.
What do you think, Charles, about the field goal decision to tie it with 9 minutes to go?
Well, on that particular occasion, I would have tried to put it in. I really would have. It would have been a good opportunity for a sneak. But hey, tie the game. You can't put too much blame on the coaches for going to tie the game.
With the way these defenses have been playing, points are points at a premium. But if you don't get it, they get the ball on the 1-yard line.
That's
so
right.
it's not so. Yeah, that's a really tough call there. But St. Louis elects to tie the game and continue to play some excellent defense today, as Cincinnati on the kick return is blindsided at the 27-yard line. And St. Louis has to feel much better about their defensive unit after they gave up 41 to Dallas in their last out.
Another reason for them going for it is if they didn't get it, the Rivermen on those short yardage defenses have been money tonight. They have been flying to the ball and could have potentially got a safety.
258 to 241 in total yardage in favor of St. Louis. The handoff goes to Ingram III up the middle. 13 carries for 36 yards so far. That one got 3.
And they've been doing it with staying in the game with, again, trusting their defensive backs just on the coverage and only sending 4 in.
2nd down and 7. Shout out to Joey Hudson. We'll get to his comment in a moment. Handoff. Al Ingram the 30. He's got a lot of space. And for the first time really all day, in between the hash marks, Al Ingram finds some room.
That was a nice move as well, to go right up the open lane and get that extra yardage and show a little burst of speed as well.
I want to call attention to a member in the chat, Joey, who decided to join the chat for the first time today, but has been watching a lot of streams. Joey, how have you been enjoying the UFL or maybe BFN at large? We appreciate you watching here today. There's a penalty marker.
It's a jump.
And it's a false start on Cincinnati. Our game's been pretty clean today. Not a lot of penalties. Hey, Jesse Fritz, Charles, says that you sound like the guy who calls the Florida lottery numbers.
Oh, I'm going to have to listen to that.
Apparently you know where to retire. 1st and 15. Handoff. Ingram surges ahead for a pickup of 4 on the play.
It didn't look like that was going to be a good gain at all, but that little burst of speed helped.
7:26 to go. Tie game at 13. What a start to our special UFL Mother's Day doubleheader. The handoff goes to Ingram, and he is stuffed in the backfield. They gave him forward progress to the 49. That's a little surprising.
Yeah, tried to do a juke move there, but Flowers was waiting for him, shut it down, and that was a very generous spot.
Third down, 9 yards to go, under 7 to play in a 13-13 tie. Chima looking, firing. Coverage, T-Roy Gaines.
Oh my gosh, what a catch by Gaines. He had 2 defenders. I mean, we were talking about Bobby Green and body positioning. That's what you got to do on a catch right there. That's textbook. Get your body facing the quarterback, get in front of the defender, and just jump up and fight for it.
Wow, and that was Dynamite McCray, who was in coverage. That's the best catch of the day.
Yeah, that's incredible.
1st and 10, 6:18 to go in the 4th. Cincinnati on the move. St. Louis's crowd getting loud. The Rivermen brought a blitz there, and Chima quickly gets it out to Green for a 3-yard gain.
We've said it a couple times tonight, Cam, but Chima he is putting the nitrous oxide in that engine and throwing it in blazing speed.
He has bounced back from kind of a rough day against Tennessee, where Cincinnati, they only scored 19 in that game.
I'd be wearing catcher's mitts if I was catching his ball.
He throws
2 of them.
He throws a hard one out, especially on those quick little slants. Man, look
Is that
out.
an option when you're building a player?
It is,
to have
yeah.
2 catcher's mitts?
Oh, no.
No, Major said
I
yes.
thought you were talking about throw power. 2nd down and 7, almost intercepted over the middle. Now it's 3rd down again, but Mac Chima's been money on 3rd down.
And I think that was Dynamite again that broke that up.
5:39 to go. Shotgun for Chima. With 3 receivers over to the right, they cross over, and Chima goes to the end zone. Deflected by Dynamite McCray into the hands of Clements. Darby Clements, who we talked about, has been really playing excellent football for St. Louis. Mac Chima forced that one.
He did a fastball down the plate on that one, too. And it's amazing. It had to hit a couple players before you were able to bring it in.
The concentration from Clements.
That's unbelievable. I don't even think he saw the ball. Where he was facing, Dynamite was in front of him, wasn't he?
I think you're right.
That's amazing.
And T-Roy double covered again. The last time he was double covered, he made it a sensational catch, but that's Chima's 2nd interception and his 10th interception of the season to go along with 16 touchdowns. Now St. Louis has the ball back. Play action. Koizumi going to take off and run. Karen is going to break a tackle. 1st down and more, and slides out of bounds for a 1st down.
Oh, you can't let a quarterback do that to you. I mean, 6'1" and 221, okay, but you got to bring him down. You got to bring her down in the backfield and not let her do that type of move on you.
That was Juwan Harris, who had a chance to take down Koizumi and couldn't do it.
Wow.
What do you think of her gold shoes like that?
I couldn't pull that off.
1st down and 10, 5:08 to go. St. Louis, just like that, is over 100 rushing yards. Another play fake. Koizumi in the middle. The pass is caught to the Cincinnati 47-yard line. 1st down. That's Howes.
Oh, my God. Talk about speed. That was a wind-up pitch as well, man. Nice blazing pass down the middle. Hitting the wide receiver in stride.
Charles, this has got to be one of the most exciting 13-13 games in football history. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, again, 2 evenly matched teams love it.
Florida and Dallas coming up next. 51st play of St. Louis's offense today. 4:33 to go in the 4th quarter. Out of the pistol, Koizumi looking for an open target. Homer J was wide open, and she did not see him streaking up the top of the screen.
Yeah, and that was not a great pass either. Had some opportunities there. Not sure what she saw, or maybe it was a bad route run by the receiver, but that play did. I think they just want to forget that one and move on.
A rare misfire, so 2nd down and 10 for the Rivermen. They'll go back to the ground game. Junior McCray shakes off bumpers and picks up 9 yards to set up 3rd and short.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice run. Hard to bring down. Again, I think it's his build. Slim and tone, and just hard to grab onto.
St. Louis, 300 total yards of offense in the ball game, trying to at least take the lead with a field goal over the middle, and Bobby Green takes the ball away from the defender and gets just enough for the first down.
He does not look I'm going to have to check. He does not look 5'11". He plays like a 6'4".
Man, just took it right away. That was almost a pick by Brady the fourth. A good play call on 3rd and 1, too. Just a little in-route.
Drag right across the middle.
Tackle made by Pearson Pierce.
On the ready.
Under 3.5 to
went
play.
into that name when the baby was born.
Under 3.5 to play. On Mother's Day, you're really going to ding the mother who named...
Your son should be named Irvine. Or Vivian Irvine.
My wife would kill me. 2nd down and 9. Under 3 to play. Tie game. It'd be a 50-yard field goal from here from St. Louis. They won their last game on a 57-yard game winner. Koizumi hits Homer J, and St. Louis is down into the red zone. If St. Louis is inbounds on this next play, Cincinnati will start burning timeouts because they need to get the football back.
And the defender on that play didn't know who to cover and made the wrong choice, and Homer J was open.
St. Louis is in pole position right now. They'll toss it to Junior McCray, stuffed in the backfield, and now Cincinnati will not call timeouts because it is a tie game.
Right.
So they could block the field goal, get a turnover, what have you. But
plenty of time left.
Yeah, there is too much time.
Yep.
Too much time for something crazy to happen. Junior McCray dropped in the backfield for a loss, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Wow. 13-13, the 6-1 Vultures, the 5-1 Rivermen, putting on a show here on a special Mother's Day matinee. Alongside Charles Doherty, I am Cameron Irvine, and we are having a blast live from VFN Studios, watching St. Louis and Cincinnati duke it out. Florida and Dallas coming up next. Can't wait to see how Florida matches up against Dallas after the way they've been playing, especially after last week. Handoff to Junior McCray, cuts it back, and that was a poor decision. And this time, Cincinnati will burn a timeout because it's 3rd and 11 for St. Louis.
Yeah, long way to go. I'd go conservative. Just set yourself up for a field goal.
Oh boy, 3rd and 11. So you want them to run, make Cincinnati burn another timeout.
That's what I would do.
3rd and 11. Let's see what St. Louis decides to do here. They need the 10-yard line for a first down. They send the fullback in motion from left to right, and they are going to stay conservative. What a block! Junior McCray walks in for the touchdown.
That was premier blocking and premier execution by McCray. Holy smokes, untouched. Look at that, boom, boom, boom.
Fullback went in motion.
Helmet to helmet.
Went in motion and obliterated to take Cameron Duty's line.
Incredible.
Wow, what a great block.
How long was the run?
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
This game is so exciting. Come on, Chad, help us out. That's definitely 20 off the board. But a 10-play, 80-yard drive, a minute 51 remaining on the clock. And on that drive, McCray, 28 yards on 5 carries for a touchdown. And how long was the touchdown, Chad? Go reverse time for us and help us out. During game night and the primetime games being called by, I'm so on top of it. But
I know,
man,
I'm throwing you off.
It's not, sure, yeah, it's your fault. Yeah. I'll take that. I was going to blame me, but if you're going to fall on the sword, I'll take that. 21 yards. 21 is the number. All right, Charles, what do we got?
Here we go. All right. Today's numbers are 1, 3, 7, 10, 13, 17, 20, 21, 26, 33, and 44.
And remember, those numbers will extend into Game 2 of our doubleheader. So if you don't have a bingo, but you have been playing and you have your card, you are able to participate in the second game. If you don't have your card yet, get it right now and fill it out and give yourself a chance or your favorite team a chance to win a bingo and get a boost today. All right, 1st down and 10 for Cincinnati. They need a touchdown to tie. Chima got hit as he threw, or as he stepped up into the pocket, I should say, but still completed it for 3.
Yeah, the 4-down rush is maybe starting to get their strength on that offensive line. Maybe the offensive line get a little tired for the Vultures.
51st offensive play of the day for Cincinnati, trying to avoid their 2nd consecutive loss. Mac Chima down the middle,
Nice.
caught. T. Roy Gaines to the St. Louis 47-yard line. 10-second runoff. They'll hold on to those timeouts a little longer.
The route took him in between the zone coverage, and good read by Mac Chima.
316 yards for St. Louis. Here comes the no huddle. For Cincinnati, rather. 1:23 to go. Chima again, all kinds of time. It's picked off, intercepted. That is Hopkins with the interception, the third pick of the day for Chima. Look at Hopkins. He's got all the TFLs and he's defending down the field.
Incredible. Very athletic move there by the middle linebacker, Hopkins, stretching out to get that interception. The quarterback, Chima, did not see him closing in on the wide receiver.
Wow.
Just shut it down.
Man coverage against the tight end gains, and Hopkins might just be their player of the game today. You can see Koizumi's first half and second half numbers. Cincinnati cannot afford to give up a first down here. They still have a chance. They have 2 timeouts, but they got to get a stop, and St. Louis's run game's been much better in the second half. Junior McCray is cut down after a 2-yard gain. 1 timeout left for the Vultures.
Yeah, smart play, run, run, run. And if you have any doubts, run.
What should they do here, Charles?
I'm thinking run.
1:15 left. 20-13. St. Louis is about to win another thriller at home. I mean, these home fans have been treated to some incredible football in the early part of the season, but they only have 3 home games left in the season after today. Handoff to McCray. He's dropped in the backfield by Bumpers. So no timeouts left for Cincinnati. It's 3rd and long. Do you run it and probably punt it back to him, or do you try to win the game right here with a throw?
Well, I mean, as long as you have at least 2 routes that one is a dump off and one medium to short route, just, so you mix up the field. You send them all deep or send them all past the marker. That's a little dangerous in my mind.
Let's see what we got. 3rd down and 9. Oh, they're sending the fullback in motion. Last time they did that, they scored a touchdown on it. They'll go counter to Junior McCray. He'll break a tackle, and a touchdown-saving tackle made by Naisha Ingram, who has been phenomenal here on Mother's Day. St. Louis will have to punt, and Cincinnati will have about 30 seconds left and no timeouts. A very difficult situation.
But that run right there, it could be big. I mean, it could give some opportunity for the punter to just pin him down really deep in their own in enemy territory.
I was going to say you can't rule out a block punt either, but this punt is an absolute blaster that goes all the way down to the 10-yard line. So 90 yards for Cincinnati with no timeouts and 30 seconds. They need a touchdown. Charles, with the rules, with spikes, with a lack of spikes, this is almost impossible. They need perfect play calling to get out of bounds and get some kind of clock stoppage here a couple of times.
So you're saying a completed pass in the middle is dead? It makes it dead?
Well, it could be a death nail. That pass is hauled into the 34, so now it's a 10-second runoff, so there are about 13 seconds left. This next play has to get out of bounds or be incomplete. Down to 14, down to 13. There's the 10-second runoff, down to 10. They got to get out of bounds or an incompletion here. 8 seconds left. Field of play is death. Max Chima to the corner. The pass is caught out of bounds. 4 seconds left. 40 yards away. Byleth Thomas, a perfect play call.
Perfect indeed. Right at the edge. 2 feet in. Out of bounds. Stops the clock. I mean, just like you said, that was the only play that would have worked and kept them alive.
Joey, stay tuned to the next game, Florida-Dallas. I'll answer your stadium question, but I don't want to step on the toes of this moment right here. 4 seconds left. Cincinnati needs a touchdown to tie. Mac Chima's got to sling it to the end zone for the tie. Chima, it is too far out of the back of the end zone, and St. Louis holds on. What a game in Missouri.
Oh, my gosh. I am tired, so tired. What an exhausting game. Great play. I mean, evenly matched teams. And there wasn't any, until the latter part of the fourth half, St. Louis took it up a notch and was able to drive down the field and start taking to command on defense. Didn't see any sacks, but we saw the four down linemen start to put a little pressure on the quarterback. Maybe that had a say. Had great execution on special teams. That punt right there was exactly what you needed to keep them deep and not put up too many yards on the field for them to have to make up. So, I mean, all phases of the game for the Rivermen, especially late in the game, I think gave them this W.
Cincinnati's got to clean up the turnovers. 3 picks for Mac Chima. That was a big difference in this ball game. We'll get a look at the stats before we say goodbye. But man, St. Louis, their run game was dead in the first half, and that was a big difference in the second half because Cincinnati wasn't able to get it going as much.
Yeah, and McCray made some outstanding moves to extend the play. Looked like he was dead to rights. That little shift move, that little agility, was able to move the marker and get the progression, get the possession, keep it alive, and I think that was Junior McCray's play late in the game was another big factor in them getting the W.
Joe Izumi with only 5 incompletions on this day was terrific for the St. Louis Rivermen. Who would you give player of the game to, Charles?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I would. It's easy to go. It's easy to go quarterback, but I think Bobby Green had a lot of outstanding receptions, and the way he did it and what he was going up against, I think he kept them in the game.
There was just 1 sack in this game, which I think might be a UFL record. Because, usually you see 3, 4, 5 sacks at least in a game, but both offensive lines were brilliant here today. Coming up next on the Virtual Football Network, we've got the Florida Sharks and the Dallas Talons. And don't let the records fool you. The Florida Sharks are a pretty good ball club, and we'll see if they can hang with the Dallas Talons, another team that is undefeated at home so far this season. For Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back here to call a second game. And if it's anything like the first, hold on to your hats. And don't reset those bingo cards. We didn't have a bingo called in game 1, but don't worry. These numbers will hold, and we will continue our Mother's Day matinee of bingo and UFL doubleheader coming up. Cincinnati 13, St. Louis 20, the final. What a game 1. We'll see you back here shortly for game 2.